The Video Game Awards have come and gone. Was Jeff Keighley our Santa Claus providing early Christmas gifts? Or was he the Grinch who stole Nintendo's 2020 lineup?
I'm Backrolls.
And I'm Mac Fraser, and we're the Nintendo Nerds.
We're a comedy and gaming duo here to help you craft and play your way to a better day.
We met in the not-too-distant past during some spirited online Mario Kart, and as it turns out, we share a love for art, gaming, and all things Nintendo.
And we want to share our nerdy knowledge with you.
So stick around, because in today's video, we're going to be talking about Nintendo showing at the 2019 Video Game Awards. Alright, so we have had a couple of days to mull this over and sit on our opinions of the Video Game Awards. So Backrolls, tell me, what do you think?
Well, this is not the Video Game Awards I've tuned into years prior. I feel like this award show felt very aimless, and it felt very unstructured, and the Muppets are always my highlight at an award show, but the Muppets was one of my few highlights of this award show. So, as a Nintendo fan especially, this one was quite the rough lineup to sit through. How about yourself? How are you feeling?
I would say the same. I don't think that I really got anything out of this award show that I was able to take with me after it. You know, at least in the last couple of years, we've had at least one or two small announcements from Nintendo that have really, meant something to us on the long term, for games that we play or games that we're going to play. And there was nothing this year, I felt. It was 2.5, almost 3 hours where I just kind of kept waiting with breath that was bated. I thought something's coming. And then the game of the year came and went, and it was over. And I did not get what I had anticipated.
The game of the year came and went, and when we thought it would be over, then we had the Fast and the Furious to watch. A confusing end to a confusing award show. Well, we should talk about the positives. Nintendo did take home some accolades that we expected, and we are happy to see. Smash Bros. Ultimate took home Best Fighting Game, a game the two of us both really enjoy playing. And I really enjoy Fire Emblem Three Houses, which also took home Best Strategy Game and the fan favorite vote as well.
Which I think is really cool that in online polling that the Nintendo fans came out in droves and really put their clout behind getting Fire Emblem Three Houses this award, which is something that it probably very much deserved.
I definitely agree. I think Fire Emblem got a little bit shafted in this award ceremony as far as the overall nominations, because I think it's a really tremendous game that I've really, really been enjoying. I'm still playing it because it's really great. And I think the fans wanted to make sure that it got a little bit of recognition and a little bit more oomph. And then Luigi's Mansion 3 took home Best Family Game, although that was a Nintendo stacked category. There was
there was no one else in there.
And we got a couple more announcements as well. We got No More Heroes 3, the extended trailer. We got the regular trailer during the Game Awards, and in order to save a little bit of money, they did not reveal the extended trailer. I recommend going and checking out that full trailer for yourself. It's pretty gosh darn cool, I have to say.
Have you played any of those games before?
I haven't, but this perked my interest. I just missed it in the Wii and Wii U eras, and this reveal trailer made me perk up and pay attention and say, wow, this is some really wacky art direction and character design, and I'm going to have to do my digging and pay a little bit more attention to Travis and No More Heroes.
I have to be honest, I haven't played any of those games, but from the trailers that I've seen, he kind of reminds me of the male Bayonetta. He's just so extra.
Yeah, just a drag queen, absolutely.
Above the No More Heroes trailer that we got an announcement of Bravely Default 2 coming to Switch, which is going to be the sequel to Bravely Default, which was a 3DS title, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. One of those Square Enix JRPGs.
Which is well loved in certain circles, not necessarily in this circle. I haven't played it. Mac, you weren't necessarily a fan.
I have to be honest, I didn't really enjoy Bravely Default. It is a game that I bought and ended up trading in. I'm thinking I'm going to try and go into this one with an open mind because it's been a little while, but I have to be honest, when I started seeing them referencing people on the screen in the trailer that had worked on Octopath Traveler, I was really kind of hoping for a sequel to Octopath Traveler. Mm-hmm. I think that is news that would have really excited me.
I wish they'd taken that art direction at least. You know, I wish they
Yes.
continued that 2.5, the sprites movement with the three-dimensional worlds. I thought that art direction was really striking. And the revealed trailer's animation, the character modeling didn't necessarily captivate me. So I will wait to see more of the gameplay mechanics and see if that is what grabs me. There is one bit of exciting news we want to shout out. We did get to hear our own Nintendo nerd, Aaron Yvette, in the teaser trailer for The Wolf Among Us 2, a Telltale Games story.
So congratulations to Erin Yvette, because she is obviously still working on big and new exciting things yet to come to any of these platforms.
We can't wait to hear more.
So for those of you who watched the Game Awards, you already know this. For those of you who didn't, this is kind of where it ends. That was really all that happened for Nintendo this year, which was really quite shocking. We've had a good couple of years so far with the Switch, and we've seen a lot of really good titles get announced and be released already. And if you look at the last couple of years of the Game Awards, Nintendo always had a little bit more of a presence there. They may not have announced a lot, but we got at least like one or two things that were pretty big. The Zelda DLC coming out the same day in 2017, and Smash Brothers getting its first DLC character last year. And I think a lot of the community was really waiting for either a Breath of the Wild 2, like another teaser trailer, or perhaps our 5th DLC character for Smash, and nothing came.
That was it. And even though Nintendo didn't necessarily promise us anything and we aren't owed anything, they did amp up the expectations by tweeting out, be sure to watch the Game Awards, and by releasing things in our news feed like, hey, remember that trailer for Breath of the Wild 2 we dropped months ago? We just want to remind you about that. Here's some behind-the-scenes footage. To do those kind of decisions is confusing right before the Game Awards. Now, we already speculated that we think there's a January Direct coming, but the Game Awards is the largest gaming audience you have. To not show your cards a little bit is just baffling.
Well, and given the amount of Sony and Microsoft content that there was at this conference this year, I gotta tell you, I'm not spending any time with those platforms right now. Nintendo's kind of my bread and butter, and the thing is that I was actually like a little upset at the end of that 3-hour award show that I had kind of sat and watched it all. I kind of thought I could have gotten up to something else today and just read the highlights tomorrow, and I really wouldn't be any better or worse for it.
Well, and I'm someone who tries to keep a pretty open mind about game trailers. I have other systems in the house, and I occasionally pick up PlayStation games, and I considered the Xbox, and the newest Xbox is something I will certainly look into. That's a trailer worth watching. But so many of these game trailers just seemed to be white noise that ran together. I don't know if we just received far too many fantasy action RPGs, if that was the problem. But more likely, I'm inclined to believe that the problem was that we were receiving the same commercials from multiple companies over and over. Samsung, Wizards of the Coast with Magic the Gathering, and Epic Games with League of Legends just completely oversaturated the time frame. Oh, and Google Stadia. Let's not forget Google Stadia. I want to never look at a Google Stadia commercial again as long as I live after the Game Awards.
Those were rough. I have to be honest. Those commercials in particular were rough.
Well, and as someone who frequents YouTube, it's already been pelting me with Google Stadia ads, so I've had it, officially.
The off! I've had it with you. Go the home. I've had it officially.
In all honesty, we just feel like Nintendo should have curbed our expectations a little bit. If they weren't going to announce a Smash character, like in previous other announcements they've made, they should have just flat out told us, by the way, there's not going to be a Smash announcement at the Game Awards.
And, maybe hinted towards a direct in January or February kind of thing, or even just saying, what, we've got a couple things to share with you at the Game Awards, but you're going to see a lot more in a month or two.
But at the end of all of this, I have to wonder, perhaps Nintendo skipped out on all of these announcements and decided they were going to do their own thing, because it seems like a lot of these commercials and announcements were people who paid top dollar to Jeff Keighley.
Mm-hmm.
And in the midst of all of that, it seems like all of these commercials didn't really leave way for an actual award show. Awards were rattled off 3 at a time with no fanfare.
I have to be honest, that was one of the things that frustrated me the most about this event, especially as a Nintendo fan, is I feel like, I understand that we can't make, ample time for every single award that you want to give out. And, most award shows are going to have like a pre-show or something where they're going to hand out a couple of awards. But I really felt like all of Nintendo's accomplishments this year were glossed over.
Best
They
RPG
literally
didn't even dare. I'm sure it was
Exactly.
Fire Emblem Three Houses, but it didn't even make the 3-hour cut.
Nope. And then like we had Doug Bowser hit the stage in the pre-show for all of like 2 minutes to say thank you for, voting Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighting Game of the Year kind of thing. But you know what? When we found out about Luigi's Mansion winning in the family category, glossed over and we moved on to the next thing. Same thing with Fire Emblem winning the best, I believe it was Best Strategy Game Award. Like, it's just, they didn't take a moment to celebrate or let Nintendo celebrate any of their accomplishments. But these other games that got to come out on Xbox or PlayStation got their moment in the light, and I understand Nintendo's been around for a long time, but their accomplishments deserve to be celebrated as much as any others, I would say.
Well, it didn't really feel like a true celebration of the gaming industry. I would really, really love to tune into a show where we are honoring some of the people we really admire, the sound designers, the engineers, the character creators, who does the costumes. Those kind of things take so much time and labor, and those kind of things get awarded in film circuits. Why are those things not receiving the accolades and time and attention to celebrate everything that gaming is and should be? Instead, we watched one big sloppy blended commercial of Stadia, Wizards of the Coast, Epic Games, Samsung Television. I could go on, but I don't want to. I want us all to move along and celebrate awards that really mean something.
Yeah, and I kind of wondered, we had spoken about this before, I wonder how Sony and Microsoft fans felt at the end of this presentation, because again, you really spent a lot of time watching all these ads and promos for these new games coming up, and you kind of started to feel like one was melding into the other. Is that just because we're primarily Nintendo fans, or is that really the way that things are going? Are Sony and Microsoft fans feeling like they're getting new stuff, or are they feeling like we're just getting a bunch of noise that all looks the same right now?
Well, I thought Ghost of Tsushima was a great trailer. However, we already saw the first half of that earlier in the PlayStation 4 State of Play. They told us to tune into the Game Awards for more of Ghost of Tsushima, and we received more cinematics and not a ton of gameplay. It's a captivating trailer, it's beautiful, but it's something a Sony fan had already digested. Overall, the Video Game Awards is something that we here at the Nintendo Nerds spend a lot of time anticipating and looking forward to. In recent years, it's become a pretty sure thing that new and exciting things get announced.
But this year, we were definitely left feeling a little underwhelmed.
Do you have any opinions on what we've talked about today? Did you enjoy the Game Awards 2019? We definitely want to know, so share your opinions in the comments section below or message us on Twitter or Instagram.
Thank you so much for watching. For more nerdy content, please make sure to click that subscribe button.
As always, we hope you leave this video ready to pick up a paintbrush, a Pro Controller, or a pen. I'm Backrolls.
And I'm Mac Fraser, and this has been the Nintendo Nerds.